Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Today will be a 2 for 1. I owe the community two of these podcasts. For those of you that do listen to these, I appreciate you because these are always serving as addendums. I also believe that when people join the members area, they get a bit of a more intimate view of the reasoning behind why I choose certain topics. And this is where I get to unload the rest of my ammunition as to why I created certain episodes or as to why I thought about presenting things in a different light than you normally see on YouTube. This episode will be a little bit shorter because I'm going to parlay this energy into the next episode, a 2 for 1, if you will. This episode is an addendum to the algorithm episode, the episode that relates our reality to the algorithm of Instagram, of TikTok, social media, the internet at large. When you really begin to understand that reality is an algorithm, some of you are very familiar with your religion. Some of you are very familiar with spirituality. No matter what side of the aisle that you fall on, there's an algorithm at play. And many of you may have done everything to appease whatever deity that you grew up worshiping or learning to fear. Yet nothing happened. Yet you didn't get the result that you wanted. And the excuse to that was always, well, maybe God didn't want you to have it. But now you have entered into the realm of the law of assumption, which is another universal law. And now we're not telling you that some other entity gets to decide whether you have the things that you want most out of life. Now you are learning this powerful concept that you are giving yourself these experiences. And if you have yet to experience it, it's because you have not given it to yourself. The algorithm is always at play. And the way that the algorithm works is your attention and your focus. Whatever you focus on, you get more of. There's a reality where a lot of you met your specific persons, or you got that specific job, or even you got that specific home and that specific car, but you grew ungrateful. You grew into focusing on what you didn't have instead of what you do have. You had your health. You had the perfect body that you always wanted. But you started to focus on why this celebrity's body is better or why this other person in the gym's body is better, and you lost it. It's simply because of your focus and your attention. If you focus on things you do not want to receive, you will receive them. However, if you do focus on things that you want to receive, you will receive those. If you can manage to focus on a reality where you already have all of the money that you need, even when you don't have any money, by law, you have to experience that. By law, you segue into that reality. It just takes time because it is that time delay that many of you despise, that many of you can't wait to have something. The time delay is built into the mechanism so you are sure that this is what you want to experience. What if you had a bad day? And because you said some things in that bad day, because you did some things, now you have to be chained to that reality. How bad would that be? But if you choose to focus on the bad, the negative, the unfavorable for days, weeks on end, then that actually manifests. You can only blame yourself. You can only take accountability for what you focused on. However, the wonderful salvation of this whole way of thinking is that it works the opposite way for things you want to persist in, things that you actually do want to experience. So if you focus, if you take that same very attention that got you a negative behavior, that got you a negative outcome, that got you a negative experience, then focus on the positive despite what you see. And because you're focusing on the positive and ignoring the negative, just like the Instagram algorithm, your life's feed will generate more positive outcomes, more positive behaviors, more positive experiences. Then from there on out, it's just experience. It's just doing the same thing the same way every time to get the same result. I know we all heard that Chinese proverb, which I think is, I don't even know if it's actually real or not, but we're just going to give it to our brothers and sisters over in Asia, that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. So if you keep doing the same thing, wandering into worry, doubt, fear, and then expect for the good things to manifest, then you need to stop. Try something different. If you always focus on the worst possible outcome because you're a realist, because you don't want to get your hopes up. And then you get a reality where you can't get your hopes up, then who's to blame? And this is not me like antagonizing you. This is just me waking you up because this is the same lesson I had to learn over and over again. I have a friend, a very close friend in my life, who actually met somebody amazing for once and is treated like the queen that I see her as, her being one of my best friends and closest confidants. And even in my personal life, I have to remind people the algorithm is watching. She came back from a wonderful trip overseas. This gentleman flew her there, roomed and boarded her, treated her like a queen by her admission, not his. And once she returned from this glorious trip, actually the second trip that she's taken in a month to go see this gentleman, she said, I'm not going to get my hopes up. And I immediately stopped her and like, why not? You're already getting the reality that you want it so bad. So why would you deny it? Why would you think something's wrong with it? That is sowing the seeds to the beginning of the end. So even in my personal life, I still have people that I care about dearly that I have to remind them because I have to remind myself constantly, focus on what I want to experience and not what I don't. My last example is I talk about my car ad nauseum because it is a manifestation. And now I didn't talk about it for a month, almost 2 months. And now I get to talk about it ad nauseum because it's here. And the same thing happened to me in the car dealership. I'm literally staring at the car that I want at a price reduction from when I saw it initially. And even then, I'm like, what's wrong with it? So if I stay in that reality of something's wrong with this, just because it's perfectly manifested for me, then I will begin to experience a reality where something is wrong for me. So the algorithm is always watching. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you are present. So you always choose the outcomes that will favor you and not send you into a reality of regret. You are neither here nor there. Thank you for your time.